Hi, welcome back to Dr. B's Advice to the World. I'm Dr. Anita Blanchard, and this is my channel where we're going to be sharing useful information for life in academia, as well as hopefully working motherhood. I'm hoping this will be useful information for undergrads, graduate students, potential graduate students, for tenure track faculty, as well as all other forms of faculty. Working mothers inside and outside of academia, as well as for used up old hags like myself with 20 plus more years of working before we can retire. Okay, let's all share some advice with each other. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about something that I call taking the next right step. This is a piece of advice that comes up in my life again and again, both personally but also professionally. It's something I tell my students when they start freaking out about what they're going to do and how much they have on their plate and how they're going to get through this dissertation or this thesis, as well as how are they going to decide what they want to do when they grow up, which is really what they do when they, want to go out and graduate and get their dream job. So generally, you just need to take the next right step. But what does that mean? So let's start back when I was in graduate school, way back in the late 1900s. My best friend and I knew that goals were very important to get where you wanted to be. So every semester we would make semester goals, 1-year goals, 5-year goals, and then our 10-year goals. And that we would kind of use those to focus on where we wanted to be. And so things like, I will have this paper completed and under submission. I will be 10 pounds lighter. I will have no debt. I will have a wonderful job, blah, 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 all these things going out. It felt really good when we did it. We felt very accomplished. And we thought for sure by the next year we would have done all these things. But we really didn't. It was hard. And I look back on those sweet little grad students, and I kind of think, oh, bless my heart. Now in the South, bless your heart can mean, oh, you had a really rough day, bless your heart. Or you're kind of an idiot, bless your heart. I kind of feel like there was a second way with this. I mean, the goals were great for focusing on where we'd like to go, but it didn't do a thing for helping us get there. So it wasn't until I realized that I had all these goals and I could probably do a little better getting there that one of my mentors in graduate school gave me some additional advice. And this comes from Dr. Alan Wicker. And he was on a year-long Fulbright to Ghana. And when he came back, we had lots of meetings. He was a great mentor, really a good person who would share advice, not advice. And he realized and made clear that when he was in Ghana, that it was often clear to him that you often needed to make the best choice based on what's going on right now. So no matter what you planned on doing in the future and what your goals were and how you thought you'd get to it, that the best choice that you could make was the one right now based on what's going around you right now. For instance, if you were working at the office and there was a protest at the entranceway to the university, then the best choice would be, well, what do I do now? Do I go out with some friends? Do I stay here and work a little bit longer? Do I do something different? What's the best decision that I should be making right now? And it really made clear that flexibility is what gets you to those final goals, not simply just having those final goals. So the next person I heard it from was a more well-known self-help person, Glennon Doyle Melton. And she said that during a decision where she wasn't quite sure what the right thing was to do, should she stay or should she go with her husband after he had admitted his infidelity. And she decided that she didn't know where the end state was going to be, but she knew she could take the next right step. And the next right step at that time was to stay. Now, it ended up that they divorced, but for her, it was clear the next right step and that specific occasion was to make that decision. And so this is a philosophy I've been using, and I think it's a lot easier to say you need to take the next right step than you need to make the best decision based on what's going around you now. So it's just a little easier, a little flows off the tongue a bit more. So what does that mean? How does one in academia or in life take the next right step? One example that came up like 2 months ago, working with one of my graduate students on a research program on Facebook, and we know where we want to end up with that, and we had done a little bit of work ahead. I'm like, oh, well, all we need to do is this, this, and this will end up in this final stage that tells us how Facebook affects people at work. And it really wasn't clear what we need to be doing. So the next morning in a shower, which is where I get my best thoughts, I thought, oh, no. We just need to take the next right step. And so the next right step is clearly these activities. And as we started working on these activities, it became clearer and clearer what our next research project should be, which is not really out there at the end, but will eventually take us there. I also use this a lot when advising my graduate students on working with their thesis, or when they have lots of ideas and energy. And just like, slow down. You want to finish your thesis by May. But right now, the next right step is to write for 30 minutes today, or an hour today, or if you possibly can, an hour and a half today. That will take you, that's the next right step. And then the next right step might be reading an article, or editing what you wrote, or analyzing some data. I'll be honest with you, I even use this in my personal life a lot. So if I want to, I would like to start running half marathons again. So the next right step is to actually get my bootay out of the house and go run 3 miles. Or because my house is a complete pigsty because I hate cleaning up and we don't have a housekeeper and nobody in my family likes to clean up. For me, when I look around, I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody's going to call DSS. The next right step is to clean the one spot that looks like I can make a difference in cleaning the house. So the next right step, okay? I think you should try it. And if you're feeling overwhelmed, confused, excited, overwhelmed, distraught, overwhelmed, afraid, overly ambitious, or overwhelmed, just take the next right step. What should you do right now that's going to help you down the path to where you want to go? And let me know how it turned out for you. Leave a comment below if you've done something like this. Leave a comment below. I'll put a link there. If you've done something like this and whether it worked or failed, or if you have some ideas on your own of how you think people can move along their paths. All right. Thank you for coming to Dr. B's Advice to the World. As I have said, and I will say repeatedly, all I really do is offer advice. It may or may not work for you. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them for me below, right there. And please subscribe to my channel so you can keep up to date with whatever brilliant advice may be heading your way. Thank you, and see you next week.